Go.
Hey Yuli, can you tell me a little bit about your internship this summer?
Sure thing. So, the title of my project is 4D Printing Smart Product Design. It was at Purdue, and it was during June 18th through August 18th of this year, 2023. So, you might be wondering, what even is 4D printing? So, what it is you build on the idea of 3D printing, except the additional time or dimension, the additional dimension is called time. And it involves creating objects that can change their shape or properties over time when exposed to external stimuli, such as heat, water, or light. Some examples that you could use a 4D printer to print might be artificial organs, surgical implants or stents that change shape or size inside the body as needed, or a water purification device that activates in response to contaminated water. So yeah, um, I used I used Python as my programming language to program these four components: string gauge, Wheatstone bridge, single side amplifier, and Wi-Fi plus ADC component um, through an IED called PyCharm. And what I did was for each of these components, there was a new file for each of these components, and I used object-oriented programming and parent and child classes to make sure all these parts are synced up, despite being in different files. But they were in different files, just so the code looks cleaner that way and not like in a big chunk. So I put these parts right here into segments. So yeah, I used GitHub, which basically is a way for me to store previous versions or all versions of my code. Just so if I ever want to go back to a previous version of the code that I liked, I can just easily do that. And it's also how other people that might not have PyCharm, aka this bottom left logo here, can view my code because I know for one, my supervisor did not really have PyCharm, so yeah.
Yuli, what was the most important technical thing that you learned during this internship?
Basically, the syntax of yeah, learning how I could use object-oriented programming uh, to get all these parts to sync up together, and using the command line to replace the run button because I have little going to the internship. I had little experience with the command line, but now after this internship, I got way more experience with the command line. So yeah,
What was the most non-technical thing that was the most important that you learned from this internship?
well, it was definitely learning how to be self-motivated because at first, due to no professor or classmate or anyone like that to really check up on me often, like how it's been for every single past project, I did lack some self-motivation at first, but I learned to pick it up, and thanks to um, Paul McPherson, who basically gave me a pep talk about self-motivation, um, I was able to be and learn to be self-motivated. So yeah.
Hmm. Thank you, Yuli. What do you feel most proud of after accomplishing this task during your internship, and why are you proud of this accomplishment?
Well, I'm proud that I finished my project, to be honest, because I had no idea. I I didn't know anything about electronics or 4D printing even to begin with, like before going into this internship. And now, um, even though I gained a little bit of insight about electronics, the important thing was that I I was able to translate information that was foreign to me into code, which was something that I didn't think I was going to be able to do, but I did. So yeah.
Thanks, man. Yuli, what was one of the most challenging things you experienced during this internship?
Mm. The amount of unit testing or just testing in general that I had to do for my code was a little bit crazy. I spent a couple nights just testing until the command line would work with me. And once I would do that, every time I would do that successfully, I would show the code to my supervisor, and he would basically give me the okay to like move on with the project. So yeah.
Mm. What would you say to an incoming freshman who is interested in computer science, interested in doing this internship? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to just be self-motivated, to be in the right mindset, to want to learn and grow. Don't be afraid to be the leader. Like, even though technically you could be working under someone, it's not that serious of a position to where, um, you know, you where you shouldn't feel allowed to, mm, I guess, take charge in some ways because I had to get on my supervisor's case about like giving me updates on what to do next and whatnot, because otherwise there would be very little communication between us, which
Communication.
honestly fed into my struggles of self-motivation. So yeah,
So you say communication is a big key.
yes, it very much is. Any project in general, communication is one of the bigger keys that you could ask for. So yeah,
Well, I want to say thank you, Yuli, for just telling me more about 3D printing.
all right, no problem.